Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing today? I have a message. Again, you guys know my messages of words of encouragement. This one is a little different. It's something that I would like to encourage and speak about based on an experience that I had. I decided to call this message, "You Have to Pull It Out" by the Ruth. And I'm going to explain, and you'll understand what I mean throughout this video. Sometimes we parents, we sometimes speak words over our kids when they're misbehaving. Sometimes we speak words over ourselves, not even realizing what will be the outcome because of the words we have spoken over our children or the words that we have even spoken over ourselves. And I'm going to tell you guys about something that happened to me, and a prime example of what happened when you speak something over your life, and especially when you speak these things, if you really believe it. Sometimes we don't understand the power that words have, the power and the results that these words can have over your life. I was a person that would always say, when I have a problem or a situation, I become very anxious and I don't eat. And I would always say this over and over. I'm always a person, if I have a situation, I'm always anxious. I don't eat. It affects my appetite. And this is something that I used to say all the time without even knowing that me speaking these words over myself so much would have such a great result, or will have such a great impact over my life. So there was a time I was going through some things, and I knew in my heart that I was delivered, because when God delivers you from certain situations or certain problems, you know it. No one has to tell you. You feel it and you know it. But the issue that I was having was that even though I knew and I felt that I was delivered and God had dealt with the situation and he delivered me from whatever it was, I still felt like I had anxiety. I still felt like I didn't want to eat. So, I was so confused because I didn't understand what was going on. So I kept saying, you know what? I don't understand what's going on. Why, if God had delivered me from this situation, why do I still feel that I have residue from this problem? If God delivered me, I shouldn't be feeling anxious. I should not be not able to really sleep. I shouldn't be dealing with loss of appetite and losing weight. And I didn't understand what was going on until one day I understood. And it was like, when they say the switch, the light bulb comes on. I understood that because I spoke this thing over my life so much that, when I have situations, I always have anxiety, nervous, I'm not able to really sleep, and I lose appetite. It's like I brought that upon myself. So even though God had delivered me, I still had that. I still had this over me because I spoke that. I spoke that over myself, not realizing that every time I spoke it, I brought this upon myself. And then I began to understand that this had nothing to do with the situation I was going. This is just something that I spoke over myself. And I'm going to tell you today that when I understood the root of my problem, I got up in my room and I prayed. There's sometimes we don't understand the power and the authority that we have, that God has given us to pray over ourselves. Sometimes we seek a prayer from others. Can you pray for me? Can you pray for me? Not understanding that we also have this authority that God has given us. You can pray over yourself. If you have the faith to do it, you pray with faith, and you pray for God to break you and deliver you off of whatever maybe depression or whatever it is. Sometimes we speak stuff over ourselves and we say stuff not knowing the results, not knowing how much this can affect you in the future. We need to be more conscious now of the words that we speak over ourselves, the words that we say. And let me tell you, that day I pray with so much authority, and I ask God to deliver me, to cover me with his blood. And as I was praying, I felt that that was not enough. So I got my Bible and I read Psalms 91. Let me tell you guys, the word of God is true. Everything that's in that Bible is true and is so powerful. If we use his word, that is one of the biggest weapons that we have, and we fail to realize the power of the word that's in the Bible. So I encourage you today, if you are going through something and you don't understand why you are still feeling a certain way or why certain things are going through, you can seek for someone, counsel. Someone that knows the word, that you know they're going to counsel you about the word of God, or pray. God is going to always speak to you. Pray and ask God to open up your eyes and find out what is the root of the problem. You know, I couldn't understand why, if God had delivered me from this situation, why I was still dealing with the residue. It was not the residue of the situation, because God had already dealt with that situation. What happened is that I spoke these things over my life over and over and over, that this was over me. And it was time for God to open my eyes and understand, daughter of mine, you're still dealing with some stuff that you need to be delivered from. Can I tell you that that day when I prayed and I asked God to break this thing over my life, and I read Psalms 91, can I tell you that I felt an immediate release? It's like you have a meeting with God and you have to pray with so much faith. And can I tell you, after that, my appetite was back in full force. I ate, I was able to sleep, I had so much peace, I had no anxiety. So my encouragement for you today, any of you guys that are dealing with something, it could be something different. Pray. You need to spend time and meditate with God. You can't have these 5 minutes prayer. You have to get in worship. You know, when you're dealing with things like that, it's not going to be done in 1 or 2 seconds. You have to pray and really spend some time with God so he can reveal to you. And trust me, it's going to be revealed. And when you finally understand what is the root of your problem, you get in prayer and you fight this. You fight this with prayer. And I encourage you guys to read Psalm 91 at least once a day. Read it. This psalm is so powerful. So that's my encouraging words for you today. Be blessed and stay encouraged. And please, 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 let's be mindful of the words that we speak over ourselves, because we have no idea of the impact. This is something that I spoke over my life for so many years. So you need to start speaking positivity over your life. Positivity for those of you that have kids. Positivity over your kids' life. Speak it. Speak it over your life. Positive stuff, because you don't know, you have no idea how powerful the words that come out our mouth. They have power. So that's my encouragement for you today. Be blessed, stay encouraged, and let's speak the word over our life, and let's speak positive things over our lives. Okay? Be blessed, stay encouraged. Love you guys.